Alright fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And I just figured I'd make a video for you guys today, and we're going to be talking about just, I guess, my first impressions of the Oculus Rift. I played a couple gaming sessions with it, and I apologize for not having Oculus gameplay in the background, but oh no! But the only gameplay I recorded for it was for a Let's Play of this game called, I think, Lone Echo. And I may throw some gameplay in this video, I'm not sure yet, but I just don't have anything currently new, because I recorded that for my VR channel that I made, so. But I figured I'd throw up some, some old school gameplay here. So we're playing Final Fight 1, doing it live, and the Oculus Rift so far, it's a whole lot better than what I expected, to be honest. I thought it was going to be kind of gimmicky and stuff like that. But the reason I chose to get the Oculus was because I knew I was going to get one of the VR headsets. Either the PlayStation one or one of the ones you can use with a computer and things like that. Because I got a badass gaming computer, so I figured why not, put it to good use and, besides games and everything too. So I chose the Oculus because I figured the PlayStation was going to only be able to use on PlayStation. So that kind of eliminated that. You had the other VR things that they had, out, but I chose the Oculus because I figured it was the one with the name brand recognition. And if it was going to be the one that companies and stuff were going to go with going forward, then it would be the best to invest in that one, because they're going to have the most support. So, plus I think Oculus had a sale going on this summer. And it was like you can get one for like $400. So I was like, it comes with the Oculus Rift and I think the 2 touch controllers. So I was like, I was planning to get one at the end of the year, but I was like, you know what, let me just grab it now while they got the sale going on. Otherwise, I gotta, actually spend like $200 more, because I think it was like, maybe like $500 or $600 by itself before the sale. So I figured I'd jump on it. We picked it up. And I didn't have any really games, any real games for it, but they did have a couple, I guess they call them experiences, and from what I understand, they're more like little teeny demos and things like that. Like you had one for Spider-Man Homecoming, where you could aim Spider-Man's web shooters around and shoot the web shooters and stuff like that. But they normally only last, they're like demos or like concepts, things like that, where you're either watching something in VR, like they had one for Ghost in the Shell for the new movie, and it was you pretty much watched a Major do the scene in the beginning when she jumped off the building, the one scene from the anime that they recreated, the one whole scene where she fights the the robo-𝐤𝐤𝐤𝐤s and stuff like that. You were pretty much watching that, so you're either watching something or just using something for like a couple minutes, and it came with a free game too, but I haven't actually tried that yet. I think it came with 𝐸_Valkyrie, I think, or something like that, or maybe just Valkyrie by itself, but I haven't tried that yet. I tried to start it up, but I couldn't start the game for some reason. It won't let me start the game, so I think you got to use an Xbox controller with that. The Oculus did come with one, so that's not a big deal, but I just didn't have it hooked up at the time because I was using the Rift controllers. But I went up and purchased Lone Echo, and I'm probably going to do some horror games as well later on down the line. I'm thinking about getting Wilson's Heart, but Lone Echo, I was like, I want a game that's going to really show me VR, right? I don't want to get the bullshit. And it was actually a whole lot better than I expected. Like I was kind of, I guess, used to motion controllers being subpar based on what we had in the the previous years, like with the Wiimotes and things like that. The controllers that PlayStation and Xbox and stuff put out, normally most of the time they're just kind of gimmicky and stuff like that, where it's just like it works half the time. But the Oculus ones, they're kind of sort of really cool. The controllers by themselves, they're kind of they're built like a normal gamepad controller, but instead of it being in one, let's say one gamepad, for instance, it breaks up the controller in half, so you're dealing with the 2 halves in either hand. And they do that because you gotta reach out and you can grab stuff and that kind of sort of thing using the controllers, and that's how you interact with the environment. Let me just kick this black guy in the face real quick. I forgot how to throw the knife, YouTube. It's been like 20 years. There we go. Alright, he's done. it's been a minute since I played Final Fight YouTube. Like, I remember playing it like, I know this is the Super Nintendo version, but I remember playing this like way back in the arcades in like the late 80s, early 90s, before, you know, before arcades died in America. But anyway, the controllers are pretty good. I guess the one thing I was worried about was getting used to the, you know, to the controllers, but with the controllers, it's kind of like you hold it like a normal controller, and where your fingers would normally be at on a regular gamepad, except where your trigger buttons are. Your triggers are the same, so like your first fingers are on triggers, but your middle fingers that would normally be either be under a normal gamepad or let's say on the. Did I just punch a knife out of there? I'm a badass white dude. Just saying. I mean, just knuckles right to the blade, you know. But where your middle fingers are at on the controllers, you have like another button that's underneath of it. And basically what that does is that's like anytime you want to grab something, that's the button you will press to kind of like close your fist and grab something. So I started uploading Echo and then went through the whole tutorial about, you know, how to play the game, you know, all that kind of sort of stuff. You first had to set up the Oculus. Like once I got everything plugged up and everything, you had to go through like a calibration mode, and that took me like, I guess 15 minutes, only because you have to like place the sensors a certain kind of way, so that you can get like a full view of the environment. And I think with the bundle that I got, it came with 2 sensors. I think the original Oculus, like if you buy it just by itself with just a headset, I think it only comes with 1 sensor. But with the touch controllers, I don't know if they come with another one by themselves, but I know in this bundle that I got, it came with another sensor. So I had to place 2 of those the right way. That took me a while to go through, but after I got that, it was pretty much cool. Once I was able to start the game, I had to kind of get used to it. I've never been somebody to get motion sickness when I play video games or anything like that. I don't get headaches from wearing headsets, so I know a lot of issues that people would normally have. I already knew from the get-go that I'm just not one of those people. So for me, I can wear the headset for hours and be fine. The only real problem, I can't really call it a problem, that I see with it is if I play the Oculus Rift for a long period of time, I don't know if it's just me or the way my body is set up, but I don't get headaches like I said, but when I take off the headset, oh, come on, God. Oh no, Andore, get off me. But after I take off the headset, after playing it like, you know, let's say two maybe 3 hours, it's, how would I describe it? It's kind of like with the Oculus Rift, right? Even though it's like right in front of your eyes, when you're using it, you're not focusing on, let's say, the headset like 2 inches from your face. It's kind of like you're looking into the distance almost, you know? That's how your eyes feel. So when I took it off, my eyes didn't hurt or anything, but they did kind of feel kind of weird only because it's like I'm looking far away, so I guess my eyes are used to that for 2 hours. And then when I take it off, when I go to like, you know, use my computer or something, when I go and look at my computer screen, it's like everything feels like it's super in focus. Like my eyes are still thinking they're looking far away when in reality I'm zooming in on something a little bit closer. But for me, after like 20 minutes, that kind of feeling goes away. It's not nothing that's like, oh, it hurts my eyes and it's like super uncomfortable. It's just something I noticed, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really call it a particular problem, but I did experience it, so I figured I'd mention it here. When I got into the game, though, like I said, I was expecting the game to be kind of clunky with VR, with the controls and everything, but it really wasn't. It really surprised me. Like, you can grab on the stuff, as long as I was staying within the range of the sensor, because when you place the sensors, they form, let's say, like a sensor field, as it were. And as long as you're within the boundaries of that field, the sensors can pick up the controllers and things like that. So the only real time where I had a problem is where I was actually turning all the way around in order to pick up something or to look at something. And but if I was just standing in the control, you know, in front of the sensors the way I'm supposed to, or facing them, that, you know, that wasn't a problem. I'm probably going to pick up a third sensor and put it somewhere behind me. That way, when I do turn around, that won't be an issue. Because I think apparently you can get more than one sensor and put it all the way around you. I think you may even be able to have 4, and then, you know, you can turn all the way around and not have that problem. But if you turn all the way around and only have the 2 sensors in front of you, your body's kind of blocking the blocking the signal from going through, so the sensors can't see the controllers. So that's kind of, I guess that's a limitation of line of sight and all that. So I mean, it is what it is. I was kind of expecting that a little bit, but the game was damn good, YouTube. It really surprised me. I know I checked out a few other things. I had to give it the porn test, you know, so I went on a few websites, looked at some VR porn, and if you were somebody who was interested in like looking at the VR for porn purposes, don't even waste your time. It's even with HD video, videos come in blurry, and it's like what's the point? It's like watching an old school VHS tape, you know, of like a porno from back in the day. It's just, that's how blurry it is. So to me, that's not my kind of thing. I like mine in HD, you know, 1080p, best I can get it. But you know, so that's not really a big deal. You did have to use like I think another program to do that. I don't think the Oculus natively does it by itself in its own program, but they did have like third-party programs you could download and then use with the Oculus. And then like I can go up and I can watch like any video file on my computer. So I was going up watching a couple anime episodes, things like that. And for watching movies and anime episodes, the Oculus is definitely beneficial. It's definitely useful. It doesn't really do anything to, I guess, enhance the experience, you know? So I can't really say, oh, it's worth it to watch that kind of sort of stuff using the Oculus versus just on your television or computer screen, you know? I know for me, it's not really a big issue because I have 5 screens. I got 5 monitors, and then 1 TV screen is my main computer screen. So to me, I'd rather just watch it on my main screen. So Katana, I hated you in Street Fighter. But outside of that, I mean, the game was actually pretty good. It was very responsive. I was kind of worried that it was going to kind of be like an on rails kind of sort of experience. Meaning they would just let you just click a bunch of options and that was it, and then you just watch until something else happens. But that wasn't the case. I don't know if that's the case for most of the premium games that they have in the Oculus Rift store, which they have a... Oh, you cheating bitch. Hold on, YouTube. Let me... Alright, let me continue here. Yeah, let me go with Hagar, the mayor of Metro City. Are they gonna start me all the way back here? Okay. But like I was saying, it's like I was expecting it to be kind of, you know, on rails, but really wasn't the case. In the store, they have like tons of games for the Rift, and I thought it was just going to be games by itself, but no, that's not the case either. They have applications for like a lot of stuff, YouTube, like almost everything. You even have like documentaries. What else do you have? You have scientific apps, meaning like they had one that's like based on the anatomy, so where like if you buy it, you can go inside the human body and see what all the organs and stuff does in like a 3D model, and you can see everything that's in the human body. You got apps where you can like build like a room in your house with the furniture and all that kind of sort of stuff, and actually build out your home and walk around it so you can see it, you know, in first person. They got tons of stuff, YouTube. It surprised me how much content they already had for it, because I just thought that they just had like the crappy games that you always see, you know, with the hands and stuff like that they always promote when it comes to video gaming. But they do a whole lot more than that. And I know on my VR channel, I'm probably going to cover a lot of the gaming stuff, but I know since I'm into the other stuff too, like I know I'm going to probably get that anatomy one. I think they also had one for like space and Google Earth and all that. I'm going to try out some of those things too, just to see the experience with it, just to, you know, see how it is. But it was really good. I don't want to, you know, talk about the game so much because this is an impressions about the Rift itself. So the game itself was pretty cool. You know, the controls were responsive. Everywhere I looked, I didn't have a lot of lag time when I was playing it. The sound kind of came through on the headset, and they were decent headphones in there. They weren't better than, you know, than what I use when I normally play. Like right now, like when I'm playing this, normally when I record my Let's Play videos, I have all of my, you know, my computer sound getting kicked out to a pair of $300 Bose headsets. So the headsets that they give you with the Oculus Rift it's built on, they're nowhere near as good as those. But at the same time, they were damn good. You know, they weren't like shitty headphones. They just weren't like, you know, if I had to compare them, I would compare them to something that's like maybe $100 to $150 pair of headphones. Nothing super expensive, mind you. Will you stop chest bumping me? Seriously. Now, hold on, YouTube. Let me cheese him out real quick. Alright, let me do this here. Can I grab him? I know you can grab in the later Final Fight games, so... yeah, let me do that. Come here. Wasted all my lives fighting these guys, and I can't beat the boss. Alright, if we die on the boss again, I might just decide to jump on another game here and continue with the video, but yeah, so far Oculus Rift, the music was coming in pretty good, sound was damn good. I think they even have like noise cancellation built in. I don't know if that's the case, you know, stat wise, or not stat wise, but you know, hardware wise, but it feels that way when you have them on. You know, it kind of isolated all the other sounds. I don't know if that's because you're kind of focused in when you're wearing the Oculus. It could be that too, so it could just be my imagination, but they may have some noise canceling built in too. Some of the content for the Oculus, it involved like it came like with its own menu system. I wasn't really expecting that. I thought it was kind of, you know, have like a computer app that you would run and then click on stuff, which it does have that too. But I guess you could choose. Oh, really? I guess you can choose how you want to interact with it, because it has its own application. So if you have the app up, you can just use the app, start whatever game you want, right? And click on it and play it. But if you just put on the Oculus Rift headset by itself, it'll pull up like a kind of pseudo virtual sitting area, you know, that has the menu in it in the headset, so you can look around with the headset and click on what you got to click on. They had a tutorial that they had you run. I forget what it was called, but it was like you were interacting with this little robot guy, and he kind of made you go through all like some of the stuff, like you could 3D print certain objects, and he would like have you hold them and throw them around and shoot them and stuff like that. That was a great tutorial because that kind of got you into using the Rift before you actually started the game. I thought that was pretty good. That impressed me as well. The only thing, if I had to knock the Oculus for anything really specific, hardware-wise, it was pretty good. The second sensor, I only wish that the USB cable was a little bit longer. They gave you an extension, but they gave you like one of those shitty USB extensions where it only goes like a few inches. They should have gave you an extension that, you know, gave you like, you know, like a 10-foot extension or something like that. Because I know, given my setup, I know the sensors have to be like, I want to say like 6 feet apart or something like that. And for my setup that I have one on one side of my desk and the other on the other side of my desk. And to go around, you know, where I had my computer at, I had to go around my monitors and my television and behind my desk. And the cable that they gave you that came on the sensor didn't reach that far, so I had to use their extension. But I wish I just had like a few more feet in it, so maybe like 2 or 3 more feet. But outside of that, I mean, that's fine. That's just, you know, how my setup is. It is what it is. But overall, I mean, I don't really have no cons just yet. I mean, the Oculus was, you know, damn good. You know, and the game I was playing impressed me. I haven't played, like I said, I haven't played any of the cheaper games, so I don't know if the quality makes a difference with Oculus Rift games or not. I don't know how they do business yet, but I know the game that I bought was one of the $40 games, so maybe one of the... Oh, you're just gonna run all the way around the map. Okay, I see how that is. Alright, come on, run at me. I'm just gonna cheat. Every time you run at me, you're gonna get... Ah! Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to beat him, YouTube. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, YouTube, give me a sec. We're gonna jump to another game here. Alright, YouTube, welcome back. Sorry about that. Oh, facehugger. But, the Oculus Rift, another thing I can talk about here is just build quality. The build quality was on point. I was expecting it to be like cheaper made plastics, things like that, but it's definitely not. It feels like that high-end polymer plastic It's black, it's sleek, it's sexy looking. So it definitely does fit in, you know, your aesthetic if you have like black electronics and everything like that. It's not perfect by any means because it's kind of clunky. You have to get used to handling the Oculus and things like that. So let's say like if you were to, let's say, put it on, you have to kind of like put on the headset on your head and then take the headphones and then kind of fit those around your ears. What they should have did, I don't know if maybe they couldn't do it because of other reasons, but it feels like they should have. Oh, come on, hold on, YouTube. There we go. Thank you. All right, maybe if I just keep up. Okay, that's not gonna work. Oh, come on! I was punching. How you just gonna run right through my punch? Ah, I hate shitty beat 'em up games. I liked this game as a kid, but you know that's because I ain't know no better. I'm a huge Predator fan, and this is just garbage. You know, if I had to compare games, like if I had to pick a Predator game that I really liked, AVP for the arcade, loved it. But if I had to, you know, pick a selling point as far as the Oculus, it's just that it's really cool and it offers tons of games and apps and, you know, things to do with it. What's the point in having camo in this game? I'm just you know, getting off topic here for a sec. They can still see me, so it's like, you know, like, yeah, they want to attack you, but it's like if I go near them, they'll still punch me. So it's like, what's the point? The Oculus, though, like I said, it's kind of a little bit clunky to put on, but once you have it on, it's fine. You know, it's one of those things where it doesn't feel like it squeezes your head or anything like that, so that's always a benefit. If I had to give it like a couple things that it can improve upon, maybe for like the Oculus 2 or whatever they call it, or the next iteration of it, it needs to go wireless. I don't know if that's possible based on the technology. Maybe you know, the wireless signal, whatever it uses, can't kick out data that quick or something like that, but it needs to go wireless, YouTube. The wire kind of sort of gets in the way when you turn all the way around or turn in circles when you're playing the games and stuff like that. But that's only because you have to get used to it. Once you get used to it, I can easily just move it out my way, things like that. But if I had to pick a con, I mean, I gotta say something bad about it, that's what I would pick. I mean, I shouldn't have to move the cable out of the way, you know? So it should either go wireless some kind of way, or maybe the cord should just, let's say, fall off of your body like 2 feet and then, you know, connect to its own sensor that you place in front of you some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But have it be wireless going from, oh, see, I'm sitting here talking to get my ass handed to me. but you know, it has to go wireless from where you're, you know, from where you're positioned to wherever it is that, you know, you plug it into, like the computer or whatever. That would be a huge benefit. They could also streamline the headsets some kind of way, so where you just kind of slip it on. If they could somehow make it so you slip it on like a baseball cap, that'll be just fine. I don't know if they can do that, but you know, they could just, you know, they need it to where you could just kind of just slip it on and just have that be that, you know. That way, if you know how to put on a hat, you know how to put on the Oculus. You shouldn't have to go out of your way to put it on, then adjust it, make sure it fits, and then there you go. You know, you shouldn't have to fiddle with Velcro straps and everything like that. But I can understand them doing that because everybody has different head shapes, and you know, that's just the easiest way to do it. You know, otherwise you got to make something like what do they call those fitted caps, where they just kind of automatically have like the little scrunchie in the back that automatically sizes. If they build something like that, that might fall apart later on and not work. So I can understand them doing it the way that they did it. It's definitely just like a business decision, you know, when dealing with multiple people that's going to be using it. So definitely good. But overall, like I said, if I had to give it like a rating between like 1 out of 10, if 10 was like absolutely perfect with no problems, I mean, I'd give the Oculus more like a 7 or 8, maybe pushing a 9. It's definitely up there. The only problems that I have with it so far is that I can't really say the price, only because, come on, man. Why is the Predator so weak in this game? But I can't really call the price a con, only because it's a high-end piece of technology. I'm used to paying that much for stuff. Like, I know if you pay for any high-end piece of technology, it's gonna, you know, cost you money. That's just, it's not gonna be $200. So for those people who want the price to be like $200, $300, sorry, that's not gonna work. That's just not gonna happen. So I can't really knock it based on that. I do think maybe like $500 is a good price, so they can knock it off, you know, knock off the price a little bit. but because I think when it came out maybe it was 600, but I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me. But it's pretty decent for what you get. It should come with the other two controllers though, because I think just the Oculus Rift by itself only comes with. Hold on, let me get. There we go. Now I can just spear these guys. The Oculus by itself just comes with the Oculus and one sensor and an Xbox controller. If you're paying $500 for something, it should come with both of the controllers. That's just a given. I mean, if you're making a product that uses the the things, don't be a dick like console developers and sell controllers separate. Even the consoles come with at least one controller. You know what I'm saying? So I would say if you have to use two controllers with the Oculus, then when you buy it, it should come with those two controllers. Maybe they're trying to do it the way that they did it because they're trying to maybe it costs a lot of money to make and they're trying to get some of the cost back. It could be that too. But that's just a dick move from company wise. I wish they were more consumer friendly. I'm trying to think of anything else I can talk about it or say about it that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but I mean, so far, I mean, nothing really rubbed me the wrong way, YouTube. I mean, it was damn good. I mean, the software was kind of easy to set up. You just kind of go on their website. You had to make an account and then you downloaded the software. That was quick and easy. The software walked you through hooking up the Oculus Rift from the beginning. So once you had it out the box, it had pictures and walkthroughs and took you through like a whole wizard setting everything up. So that was pretty user friendly. It was pretty much simple. What's the old adage? Keep it simple, stupid. They can't really make it any easier. It was like look at the pictures and it gave you instructions and told you what to do. So that was damn good. I don't really see how they can improve that in any kind of way unless they came to your house and hooked it up for you. but we all know that ain't gonna happen. I didn't run into any problems hooking anything up. I mean, I'm a technical person, so for me it's simple. It's nothing really important. I mean, that's my profession, so I do that on a daily basis. Most of the connections were common. So it was USB and I think HDMI. You had to plug it into the back of your graphics card on your computer. So it's the same connections that video game consoles and DVD players and stuff would use. So it's easy. If you know how to hook up that stuff, you can hook up Oculus Rift. The only, I guess, downside, I can't really call it a downside, but if you wanted to to use it, obviously you have to have an Oculus ready PC and all that stuff. If they could somehow make the Oculus so it has like its own built-in app that you could just plug into your television like a DVD player, that could be a pro going into the future, to bypass the PC altogether. So if they could somehow, let's say, create something like a PlayStation. So let's say you having to have your PC ready and all that stuff with a high-end graphics card and all that, if you could somehow just sell you something like a cable box that you just hook up to your television along with the Oculus Rift and sell that for like $500 and have that be your graphics card and everything. Oh, come on, you. Oh, hold on, YouTube. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to get killed by a facehugger. Come on, run into it. How am I supposed to hit this thing? Are you serious? Do I got a sweep or something? Hold on. Don't I have, I think I got, hold on. What's my, oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. I was looking for, there's like a special move you can do in this game where you can rain down energy from your ship. And I think you can also shoot the little, there we go. But that's not going to help me with him. There we go. But if I had to, pick something with the Oculus, like I was saying, they should, make it like a cable box, something you can hook up to your TV by itself to just bypass the computer altogether. That would be beneficial. That would work for their benefit. It costs them a little bit more money, but I mean, if they wanted to sell the Oculus by itself without you having, to have like a VR ready PC and all that stuff, then that's a good way to do it. Outside of that, like I said, they need to work on the headset design a little bit. The sensors work pretty, work pretty cool for what they do. From what I hear, the what's the other one? The HTC Vive or something like that. Whatever the other VR headset is, they have a better sensor alignment. Because I know when I was reading up on all three of them, they were like the Vive has better room-based sensors. You know, with that one, you can kind of put them in your room and walk around your whole room and things like that. But I guess with the Oculus, you have to have, you know, you have to place the sensors around you in order to, you know, to do the same thing. So I can't really call it a con, but right out the gate, I mean, they should have sensors like that. You know, maybe, I don't know, use the same technology that the, you know, the other people use it if they don't have it copyrighted or whatever, but, you know, I guess I would have to consider that a con based on that. I know a lot of other reviewers are doing the same. So that's you know, that's something good. I'm probably gonna make a follow-up to this video after, you know, after I, you know, get a few months in with using the Oculus and get super used to it. I'm probably gonna go back and make like a follow-up video to this, and I'm probably gonna upload it back on this channel, just, you know, just to give you guys something, you know, else to hear from me. But like I said, I made a VR channel and everything. So if you guys want to see VR content going in the future, that's where I'm going to be uploading it. Not so much here, just because I don't want to split my audience and stuff like that. And most of the time, you know, I don't get a lot of views anyway. So I know YouTube has or not YouTube, but audiences don't like when, you know, when you upload different content on your channel and things like that. So that's why I decided to make a whole nother channel. The name for that is just Denonu VR. Keeping it plain and simple. Nothing really super fancy. I'll throw the link in the description of this video here, so if you guys want to check that out, you can. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the commentary here and just my impressions on the Oculus Rift from using it for a couple gaming sessions. So, my name is Denonu, the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.